All right. So when I first started being targeted, one thing that happened was I had this deep fake call. It was supposed to be my dad, but you know, I pretty much knew from the beginning that you know this was not him, right? So there were several reasons for that. One was, he was clearly not talking about the things that he would usually talk about. Instead, he was kind of bringing up every subject that the people targeting me had kind of floated to me already, right? So, yeah, I pretty much knew from that. But, the third thing, I guess, is that it just seemed like I was talking to someone that didn't have a soul, right? Just like I was talking to, like a psychopath or something. Not my dad, right? So yeah, the things that he said are the things that, I'm kind of wanting to mention because, this was like early on in the game and he was mentioning all these things that I had no idea about or why, why were they saying that, right? But kind of along the way, I figured it out, right? And a lot of the things he was saying was like all about kind of setting up this reality hijacking, right? Setting up psychic attacks. So, he had to mention dead mice. That's when they played on me early on, right? Because, evidently the radiation was just killing all the mice because they were having me under a spotlight, or at least they wanted me to believe that, right? So, yeah, he had to mention that. Okay, and that, I found out later that also goes into like the whole thing with creating Manchurian candies. But, then he mentioned the train wreck, right? What did I know about train wrecks? And, basically that's kind of like tying into this whole train wreck that happened that, all this toxic substance was spilled and kind of rumors are, insinuating that maybe there's like some kind of alien connection there, right? Some kind of alien parasite or something, right? Then he was asking me about visiting the desert, right? When's the last time I visited the desert? Again, kind of hinting at Nevada, Area 51. More alien hinting, right? All this stuff I found out later is part of the big picture that they're wanting to paint for everyone. Setting everyone up for their final thing, I suspect. Okay? So, then he kind of mentioned how in World War II they would put like these big canvases all over the land to disguise it and make it look like it's something else. And for me, that was just kind of like hinting to this whole dome theory, right? That they have this big blue dome over us and we're not even on Earth. It's just a flat Earth, right? So yeah, he did all these hinting, all this hinting to stuff that would come up later. But for me, I was just like, what the hell is he thinking? Well, I knew it wasn't my dad, but, whoever I was talking to, what the hell were they thinking? What were they getting at, right? And the conversation moved into other subjects like whether I thought Stalin should have kept all his people that knew too much, or if he was right to execute them, right? Kind of referring to me, like a threat, basically. Okay, then all this questioning about what I thought about the Iraq wars and things that happened there, and mention all this stuff that I'm like, Yeah, my dad definitely doesn't know about all this stuff. Like, they're not even trying to pretend to be my dad anymore. So, but yeah, very creepy. But, for me, I was just looking at it as, you know, where are they going with all this? But now that I've kind of seen all their reality hijacking and whatever, and things they're trying to set up for psychic attacks, I kind of understand why they said all those things and, what it was about, right? So, yeah, thought that was kind of interesting. And I just did a video about my idea of the dome theory, but I'll probably do one about aliens too.